My dogs are joining me for this video today. Rue's out of frame, but she's here too. Love you guys so much. Love you, love you. Greetings, loved ones, and welcome back to my channel. When I'm outside filming this right now, it is so freaking smoky. You can like see it in the air. It's very alarming because tomorrow is going to be 1 year since we had to evacuate due to the 2020 Oregon wildfires. And anytime I just see skies like this, I'm like, oh no, dear God. But I know that it's just because there's a fire outside of Mount Hood, which is far enough away from me. It would have to be a very drastic weather pattern change to be alarming to us. But anyways, hello, how's it going? Today I'm going to be harvesting my garden because I need to get as much as I can into my basket to bring to my 4th annual Hughes Giving trip tomorrow. We're going back to Idaho. So actually the last time that I filmed this, we were also going to Idaho. It was in 2019. I filmed a video similar to this, but I was doing like a personal Q&A. But today, instead of a personal Q&A, I'm going to be answering your assumptions about me and just talking about them, telling you if they're right or wrong and all the details in between. But I'll be doing it while I'm cutting herbs and other various things. I got tomatoes, potatoes, greens, beans, ham, lamb, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it. Oh, I also wanted to say the last time I did an assumptions video like this, my friend Annalie was reading all of the assumptions for me, and so I didn't even get to pick them or even know what they were ahead of time. So I kind of like being able to see them ahead of time for myself, and I'm glad that I decided to film a video like this. I didn't know if they were still in, you know? I was like, why not just do one and see if people like it, because I don't know, sometimes it's nice to just set the record straight, if you will, on some things. So without further ado, let's get into the first assumption, okay? Which is, you didn't always have the high confidence level you do now. And I would say yes, that's very true. I mean, I don't know. I think my confidence has kind of waxed and waned over the years, as anybody's confidence does. And right now I'm feeling like a very confident queen. And I've been feeling that way over the past few years, and I don't know, it's probably from a combination of things, you know, getting back into a workout routine that makes me feel good about myself and my body and my mind. Also having a supportive partner, also just generally, you know, getting older and getting to that point where you're just kind of like, you know, everything's fine the way it looks and is. Not just physical confidence though. I feel like I'm just generally a confident person, like in my personality more. But I don't know, I think that this is true because I feel like just as I've like gotten to be 24 and stuff like that, I've just gotten way more like, yep, this is the way I am and I feel good about all these things and I'm just hanging out, living my best life, and nobody can really, you know, break me down because, well, I'm just past doing that to myself, you know what I mean? So yes, I would say that this is true. Hey, Rue, if you really want to be in the video, you can just come over here and tell them. You don't have to bark from over there. Okay, my oregano has been going to flower and seed, so I wanted to clip as much as I could, and I still see some more of it, so I'm gonna get a couple more. But whenever I clip this many herbs, I'm kind of like, how much does one need, you know, to feed a family? Also, it's not like we're just going to be eating herbs the whole time. It's like, how much is necessary for meals? Not this much, probably, but I'm bringing it. The next assumption that I got sent in, actually a couple of times, was you actually want to shave for your wedding, but you're not going to based off principle. And this is completely untrue. I do not want to shave for the wedding, and I also just really don't think about shaving ever. I'm not like, oh, I should shave for that occasion, or oh, I really like miss being smooth and slick. Like, I just don't. I don't really think about it. My hair's just part of my bod. So no, this is untrue. Look at all this sage. Gorgeous. I love sage. I'm gonna leave kind of the rest of that and get some parsley now. All right, can y'all see me? Okay. The next assumption is your house smells like a small dispensary. Oh God, that's funny. Honestly, no, this is false. I think that our house just smells like wood. That's generally what people tell me when they come inside the house. They're like, wow, it really smells like wood in here. It smells like a fresh burned fire or something like that. And sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe it smells like a fire because of all the smoke that got into our house last year. Maybe it just seeped into the walls or something like that. but I don't really know. I think that it just kind of smells like a cabin. I don't really think that it smells overwhelmingly like Miss Mary Jane. But hey, you know, if you're my friend and you're watching this video and you've been over to my house, comment down below what you think my house smells like, because I'm curious. Because I can't smell my own house unless I leave my house and then I smell my clothes and then I'm like, it smells like home. But it's never like, smells like weed. Okay, the next assumption kind of relates to the last one about how my house smells, but this is about how I smell. And this person says, you smell like patchouli, in parentheses, in the nicest way. And then someone else said, you smell like vanilla and ylang ylang. Or is it ylang ylang? I think it's ylang ylang. I always forget how to pronounce that herb name. I think that these are such funny assumptions because I know that the only reason why people send these in is because I look kind of like a granola woman, you know, like I look like I smell like oats, or perhaps my hair looks like it could be, you know, dreaded. I would never get dreads. Somebody asked me that, by the way. Oh, I'm on a completely separate tangent. Anyways, I don't think I smell like those things. I don't know what I smell like. Again, if you're a friend of mine, please comment on this video how you think I smell. I think I smell pretty good. I probably just smell like my native deodorant and maybe some herbal perfume, but I don't use patchouli really on my body at all, or ylang ylang. Anyways, my lemon balm is now flowering and going to seed as well, so I'm gonna bring a bundle of this, maybe just for some herbal teas or for my mommy. I don't know. And then lastly over here, I'm just gonna cut some of this spearmint that's also flowering and bring that because maybe some people will want it in their cocktails, you know what I mean? And I'm also going to answer this, this juicy one that somebody sent in, and they said, you had a crush on Finley even when you were just friends. And I would like to say that this is completely and utterly false. It's funny because I literally friend-zoned him so hard in my mind for so long. I was just like, this is my buddy, this is my homie. And that's how it was for a very long time. And then one day I was like, hold on, I think this man kind of has some feelings for me. And then, you know, we moved away from being just friends from that point. And now here we are, engaged so many years later. How much mint is too much mint? That's what I want to know. My hands smell delicious like mint. I'm gonna go and grab some little twisty ties for these herb bundles inside my house, just so I can keep them kind of organized in my basket. And then I'm gonna meet you on over in the big bed. So you go ahead and run along now, I'll just meet you over there, okay? Don't get lost, it's just right over that way. All right, folks, welcome to my garden. Well, this is my big garden bed, but you know, we were in my herb garden before, but this is where most of the magic happens. I also wanted to film this when the sunflowers were still in bloom because they're gonna start dying and wilting down for the fall, and then I can harvest all of their seeds for us and for the pigs. But also I wanted to film this while all of the calendula is blooming before we harvest it today. All of the orange flowers that you guys see everywhere are the calendula plants, and Finley's about to do that in a little bit, but I was like, hold on, I gotta film this video while they're still looking nice and orange in the shot. So here I am. But anyways, let's get into our next assumption. I'm gonna snip off a couple of baby pumpkins just for funsies, and I also want to bring my sister one because she's so excited for fall this year. She's already started decorating. Anyways, the next assumption is you don't plan on keeping the hogs when you move. In parentheses, I know you love them, but because of the transport. So in my last Q&A, I was talking about how we are considering moving back to the East Coast, specifically to Vermont. We're going to take another trip out to Vermont in October, in just a short month here, you know, and then we'll know for sure if we want to move out there. But if we do move out there, I really, really, really want to bring the pigs. I would be very upset if we had to leave them here. I mean, like, worst case scenario, if we can't transport them in a kind of horse trailer or something like that across country. Comment down below if you've ever done that, transported animals to the other side of the country. I need to know. Worst case scenario though, I guess they would just live on our friend Athena's farm, but also we would need to like talk to Athena about that and, you know, clear it by her and everything like that, and pay for the hogs to stay there for their feed and everything like that. But obviously my best case scenario is that I want them to come with us. They actually just heard me talking about them. Anyways, look at my baby pumpkin. so cute. I also need to put my hair up. It's fucking hot out here, dude. I think that I might just want to harvest only that little one for Lindsay to bring home, because the rest of these I don't really want to harvest yet until it's gourd season when we get back home, and then I can start decorating with all of them. Speaking of gourd season, I look forward to being able to harvest this bad mama right here, who is suffering, I think, from powdery mildew. There's just like a lot of like bleaching in the leaves, and this one really came in pretty fast. And I've just been kind of leaving it because I'm like, I wonder how big it'll get, you know, if I continue to just leave it on the vine. So I'm going to leave it there, but I am looking forward to fall and being able to harvest that. I'm also today going to be focusing on harvesting any tomatoes that are cracked like this, because they're way more susceptible to rot and bugs. And even if they're not fully ripe, they will ripen on the counter. So I'm just going to bring as many as I can. Next assumption is you're not doing the traditional wedding things at your wedding, like bouquet / garter toss, etc. I actually am. I do want to do that stuff. I honestly love a good tradition. I'm looking forward to doing those types of things, throwing the bouquet and, you know, making it rigged so Lindsay can catch the bouquet. No, I'm just kidding. And I'm looking forward to the whole garter toss thing and all of those little details, and cutting the cake and all of the fun freaking details that, you know, I guess some of you pick me as not a traditional person, but I'm traditional in some ways. Not all of the ways, but I'm traditional in some of them. And also sometimes it's nice to do those traditional things, like if not just for yourself, but for the family. You know, weddings are kind of a family affair. I know everybody is like, you should just do what you want on your wedding day. And we will, but we'll also do some stuff because like my parents would like to see it, my grandparents would like to see it, you know, all those little things. All right, let me just sneak my ass on in here. Okay, let's start with the potatoes. I know that this looks like a very dead plant, because it is. And I let the plant get big and green, flower, die back, and now I'm going to be getting the potatoes. Normally I dig up my taters when the flowering has just stopped and they start to get a little crispy. I never really let them get this crispy. I also wanted to keep them in the ground for as long as possible because my family really loves potatoes, and I really wanted to bring them on my trip this year for them, because, you know, Hughes giving and bringing my harvest is kind of like showing off my Grange display in Stardew Valley. If you guys play Stardew, you know what I mean, but you know, like showing off all of the best things that I've grown that season, and it's just very like wholesome and fun. So I want to bring all of the things that everybody really loves, which is potatoes, tomatoes, you know, kale, all those various things, but also like bring a wide variety of stuff. So anyways, a mole ate the rest of my potatoes in a separate bed, so these are literally like the only potatoes I have to harvest right now, and so I've left them for that long. Okay, that was a really long potato disclaimer, and I'm just gonna dig them up now while answering this next question, which is, you and Finn have a list of names for your future children. This is accurate, okay? This is very true. I'm also just totally the type of person who loves a good list. Like, I'm obsessed with lists. And so whenever Finley tells me even like a gift that he would like to get, I put it in the notes app on my phone. And so I do that same thing for when we hear a name that we like. Also, I found this very baby potato and I'm very excited about it. But I'm also gonna put on gloves because this is really wet soil under here, and I don't wanna get all this freaking dirt in my engagement ring, because Lord knows I always do shit like that and then I regret it. People always ask me to harvest my potatoes on camera because it's such like a satisfying thing for people to see, I think. Like how you can grow a plant above ground, but underneath the ground it's just so many potatoes. So without further ado, here's my first quirky looking one. They always look a little funky and weird, and this one definitely takes the cake for that. Let's see what else we got in here. Wow. Okay, while I'm doing this, I can't look at the exact wording of this, but I know somebody sent this in and then I screenshotted it. But it was something along the lines of, holy shit, this is a large potato. Just kidding, that's not what somebody said with their assumption. But somebody said like, you're gonna name your kids like nature-y names or like granola names or something like that. And I do like a lot of really kind of granola sounding names. I love the name Flora, I love the name Fauna, and you know, I love the name Evergreen and shit like that. And so I feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if I named my child something along those lines. But again, this is a collective decision to be made. We have to both like it. But to answer this assumption, yes, I definitely have a lot of nature-y names on my list because I freaking love names like that. I really wouldn't be surprised if we chose something crazy or a little more out there, you know? Oh my fucking God, this is incredible. This is my best potato harvest yet. These russets are insane. Show me what you got, potato. Oh wow, I can't wait to clean these bad boys off and just make them look so stunning and gorgeous, Gorgina, for my family. Let's look for any others around here. I planted more potatoes like in a line right here, but they have obviously not come up yet, so I'm just gonna make sure that I'm not digging too much in their area. But I do want to dig around here, make sure I'm getting everything, because sometimes they're a little bit further down than one might expect. Okay, I guess I'm not really finding that many more. That was a pretty good yield for just one plant. All right, so I have a couple of collies over here. Some of them are turning light pink / purple because I don't have shade cloth covering them, and so they get a little sunburnt and they turn that color. But I honestly might harvest like 3 out of 5 of these or something and bring them along, because why the heck not? I should have brought out a knife to slice them off of the plant to leave the plant in the ground and everything. I also planted some potatoes right here, so I'm going to be careful not to stomp too much around that area. But I'm just going to sneak back here, y'all. Just sneak on back. Oh shit, not the calendula shit. I'm just going to hack away with my scissors since I don't have a freaking knife. Oh, okay, I got it. Honestly, this looks like it had an aphid problem at some point. It looks like they all died. But I might not want to give this one to my family. Yeah, I might give this to the pigs. It's also pretty purple, you see? Yeah, it looks like these two over here have some kind of a bug problem. So I'm just gonna, I guess I should just rip them up. Oh, sorry, I forgot what I was doing in this video. Okay, the next assumption is you and Finn want another dog. And we do want a big dog. We want like a big farm guardian dog. I really am obsessed with the idea of getting a Great Pyrenees for the farm that we moved to for more of our forever home vibe, but we don't want one like now. You know what I mean? So we got time until we have that. Oh yeah, this one definitely has freaking aphids, dude. I gotta rip up some of these plants and feed them to my hogs, and then I'm gonna get back into the rest of this video. But I'm just gonna show you this because you should know before you grow cauliflower that you could have some kind of an issue like this. PU, am I right? They look like they're part of the cauliflower, just darker, and then you hit them and they freaking start moving around. It's disgusting. I'll be right back. I gotta give the hogs this and rip up the plants so they don't infect the rest of my plants around it. Look at this, guys. Bugs are so freaking cool. So I just got rid of all of the ones that had aphids, and I noticed that one did not have aphids, and the only one that didn't had a ladybug living inside of it. Thank you, ladybug, for eating all of those disgusting aphids. Now I have one little tiny baby cauliflower to bring to my family. Thanks, little buddy. I'm gonna put him onto another plant. Okay, that was honestly a horribly upsetting tragedy that so many of those cauliflowers over there had an aphid problem. If you guys have any natural aphid remedies, you let me know. Anyways, this next assumption is so funny to me because I love when people say something mean and then they follow it up with no offense. This is just the prime example of that. This person goes, "You smoke too much and it's getting annoying. No offense." I'm like, you can't call me annoying and say no offense in the same sentence, okay? Anyways, this is why my smoking content is just on Patreon. You don't have to pay for my weedy tier if you don't want to be part of it. I also just think this is really funny because I honestly have smoked so much more in the past than I do right now. Like, I'm really at a time in my life where I could do without it or do with it. It really depends. By the way, I found some more beautiful cauliflowers over here, so I'm gonna harvest one of those instead. I actually just made a video about this on Patreon, kind of talking about my relationship with weed and how it's changed over the years. I know obviously this person is not interested in watching that, but if you are, feel free to go on over there and check it the heck out. Damn, this is a really hard cauliflower to cut. Oh my God, look at this. Look how beautiful. So nice. I love it. This was one of my best finds of the whole day. Putting it right on in there. This basket's getting a little heavy. All right, this calendula plant is growing basically underneath and into my tomato gate, so it might be kind of hard to see what I'm trying to grab, but I'm just trying to grab all of the tomatoes in here because I got a lot of ripe ones under here. And then there's a pumpkin over here that's trying to ripen as well, but I'm not gonna pick that one yet. This next person says, you wanna have a baby with Finn within the next 2 years. And I would say that yes, this is definitely true. I'm aiming for a 2-year timeline from today, which is September 7th, 2021. Maybe we will have a child by September 7th, 2023, but who knows? I'm also not trying to like force that to happen. I just kind of want to like ride out the trajectory of our lives. I mean, obviously, yes, I do want to have kids pretty soon after marriage, but kind of like I was talking about in my last Q&A on here, it's not just like I'm the only one who's going to decide when we have kids, you know? But I realize you guys are just like asking or wanting to know when I personally would want to, and that's my answer. Okay, so yeah, within the next 2. If it doesn't happen in the next 2, that's okay as well. But it would be nice if it did, I guess. All I know is that I got too many tomatoes and my glasses have fallen off my nose. I broke my other wire frames, by the way, so I'm back to wearing my old plastic ones. One of my pigs just came out to eat all of the aphid cauliflower I threw in there. A little extra protein on there for you. Is that Ducky or Peach? Peachy? Ducky? Oh, it's definitely Ducky. Okay, the tomato party isn't over yet, y'all. There's a lot of bugs on this side of the garden. I feel like these bugs are eating any of the other bad bugs. So thank you. Good bugs. Good bugs. My harvest basket is looking so gorgeous and really heavy. Let's go over to the carrots and the green beans that are now turning into yellow beans because I need to harvest them so bad. This is wild lemon balm over here. This is so amazing that it comes up every year right here. I must have dropped some seeds here in the past, but who knows? It's looking very gorgeous though. Okay, this next project is going to be just as dirty as the potatoes. Well, maybe not as dirty. I guess the potatoes are way more covered than the carrots are. But I'm gonna rip up some of these carrots so we can have some roasted root vegetables at some point on our Hughes giving trip. The next assumption's really funny, and this person just said, "You freak nasty." As in, I am a freak who is maybe a little nasty. I always think of That's So Raven when she's like, "You nasty," when people say that word. I mean, I am like a freak, like Maurice the Freak, but I think you're talking about in like, you know, a saucy, spicy time scenario. And to that, I would say, I'm definitely not vanilla, but I also wouldn't describe myself as a freak, I guess. I don't know. Would I? I guess so. I'm eating a baby carrot. That was delicious. My carrots always grow a little weird looking because it's kind of hard to grow a successful bunch of carrots that are really long and like gorgeous and amazing, but I did at least grow some bigger ones than I have in the past, so I'm very excited about these. Wow, I might need a second basket, it's looking like. Oh my God. And then this is what I'm talking about. This is the beans that were once green, and now they've totally fallen over, and it looks as though they're actually starting to rot. So maybe I should just rip these bad boys up and harvest whichever green ones are left, because they're not looking too good, I'll tell you that much. I kind of feel bad that I didn't harvest them in time, but I might just de-shell some of these inside actually and put them into like a jar because they would have dried inside of the pods and I can keep them for fall and winter. I have some other bigger tomatoes that are starting to be ready over here. Oh my God, I fucking threw it. Sorry, tomato. I have this one, and then I also have this one under here. This one's literally perfect. Whoa, I found a beet. This is exactly what I wanted. This beet is tucked in here alongside some clover that we put some seed down for in the past to have as ground cover. Let's just grab her. Oh wow, she really got like girthy, not like long. That's crazy, look at her. So awesome. I got it, yes bitches. Okay, just before I get too far into the back corner here of the garden, I'm gonna rip up this kale because my mom loves kale so much and I need to bring her some. And you know what? This is totally my fault for not actually fencing in the garden this year, but a deer most definitely ate pretty much all of my kale this year. So, you know, what the heck can you do? But I'm just gonna grab the rest of what's on this plant because I haven't really personally been eating it, so I'm kind of like, okay, well, the deer can have it, and then I'll bring some to my mom, and then I'll kind of like call it a day. I mean, I did make some kale and artichoke rolls, and those were really good, but I haven't really done anything else with it this season, so I'm just gonna let the rest of it kind of just grow back around here and harvest this tomato.
Kale, kale, kale. Yummy, yummy kale.
Zooey mama, y'all seeing this? Hold on, I gotta come closer. Hello, hello. Oh my gourd, she didn't. Oh God, love a good gourd joke. This is actually one of my only butternuts right now, so I'm gonna bring this one. Okay, this is kind of like my favorite part of the garden, honestly. This section back here where my ears of corn are, as well as a broccoli plant and lots of cucumbers, as well as this plant, which is producing a lot of acorn squash over here. I've been saving these ears of corn for the family trip, so I'm going to harvest them now. I'm so excited. It's unreal, and I cannot wait to eat these with my sister. Maybe we'll grill them or something like that. But yeah, man, this is really just the best thing ever. I've never successfully grown corn, so I'm absolutely elated. And while I do this, I'm gonna answer the next assumption, which is a 2-in-1, because two people sent me in assumptions that kind of coincide with each other. So one person said, you try your best to be sustainable, but you aren't perfect, which is super true, because who is perfect? And then the next person said, you sometimes miss the convenience of not being environmentally conscious. And the reason that I say these kind of coincide together is because, honestly, I feel like because Finley and I have missed the convenience of not being environmentally conscious, we've started to buy a couple of things in plastic. Keyword, a couple. I have learned to be a little bit more lenient this year than I have in the past. And I still buy bulk, obviously, and care about the environment. It's just kind of one of those things that I can't be too gung-ho about, or I won't eat a lot of things. Okay, I just watched a video on how to properly harvest corn, and the man in the video said you want to harvest it when you feel a really full ear, which this one is most definitely very full, you can tell. And also the silks start to turn brown. And did you guys know that corn silk is actually incredibly medicinal? It's actually, a lot of Native Americans used to use it to make teas with and stuff like that. I learned that in herbalism class. Anyways, let me know if you make any corn silk tea in your life, and if you enjoy it. It has a lot of benefits for your health, brothers. How do I get this off? I'm so proud of myself. I could simply die right here. My first ear of corn, y'all. I can't believe it. I love hay and corn. Okay, while I'm pulling off the other ears on here that are ready to go, I'm gonna answer the next assumption, which is you didn't think that you would ever get engaged young. And I actually, I never really had any idea when I would get engaged. I never was opposed to getting engaged young. I just never really gave it that much thought. And as I was getting older and was more serious with Finley, I just figured it kind of would happen like that because it just seemed like the trajectory of our lives at that time, you know? Okay, so I only have 3 ears of corn, so I guess me, Finley, and Lindsay will eat this because Lindsay is literally obsessed with corn. And if you guys saw that vlog when her and Jared came into town, I asked her what she wants to do with the corn, and she said something so deranged and unwell that I need to know that at least some people heard what she said. All right, y'all, I got 2 cucumbers. They're gorgeous. And then my 2 assumptions that I screenshotted from the YouTube community page are as follows. So this person said, you don't like traveling that much. Also, thank you for making content again. You're doing great, queen. Thank you to this person who sent this in. But I would say I do like traveling. I just don't like flying that much. Like as I've gotten older, I'm kind of like, wow, flying kind of fucking sucks. It gives me a lot of anxiety for some reason. I don't know why. It didn't used to, but I do it when I have to, you know what I mean? You can't drive everywhere. That's something that I've learned. And also when we're talking about like, you know, travel across the country, it's just much easier to fly sometimes and quicker than it is to do a drive for like 3 days straight. And that would be on the shorter end for it to take 3 days straight. But a lot of the time we just like driving. Like I just really enjoy a road trip. Finley enjoys a road trip. So we do like traveling. We just don't love a flight. Anyways, I got lots of tomatoes again. All right, for my last assumption of the video, I'm going to be harvesting my rhubarb, which is just going to be put into some pies and crisps, and it will be paired along some apples or some berries or something like that on the trip. So I'm going to grab like 3 pieces of rhubarb. But the last assumption is I'm assuming that you're starting to rely less on YouTube for monetary purposes, / you are more focused on new monetary pursuits. Love you, Meg. Thanks for providing so much light in our world. Oh, so cute. Thank you so much. I would say that yes, I'm less focused on making money on YouTube. I mean, I honestly, like, I don't think I ever entirely was only in it for the money on YouTube. And I don't think that that's what this person is saying, you know what I mean? But they're saying like you're relying on it less as like your primary source of income, which is very true because I have Patreon, I also have a Twitch, and I make money from both of those things. And also, as I stated in my last Q&A, I am starting a small business. So I'm definitely way more focused on like how to generate money from that and in other areas of my life, you know what I mean? Rather than just being like, I need all my money from YouTube. I don't really make videos for that purpose. I do have other things that I'm interested in aside from YouTube, but that doesn't mean that YouTube isn't still my baby. I'm thinking about babies because I have this baby armful of rhubarb right now. But I need to cut off the top leaves of this and keep just the stems because you don't eat the leaves of rhubarb plants. Also, fun fact about rhubarb leaves, they're toxic to pigs. And pigs don't even like smelling them or anything like that. They won't even try to eat them because they're like, ugh, I can't have that. Let's go put these in our basket. I love how I tried to put these in this basket as if I have any room left in this godforsaken basket. Oh my god. This will be my thumbnail for sure. But holy shit, guys. Thank you so much for watching me get this much abundance from my garden this year. This is insane. I feel like I've successfully grown so many different things that I just never have in the past. And I'm so excited that I get to share moments like this with you because I'm so fucking proud of us. When I look at stuff like this, I'm like, holy shit, how do we do this? Corn, kale, rhubarb, squash, carrots, tomatoes, potatoes, herbs, the whole 9 yards. We got a rooster crowing in the back. We got my hogs honking over there, and I'm just so happy. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be vlogging on our Idaho trip, so expect a family vlog in the next few uploads, and I love you. I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will just see you in my next one. Check out my Patreon, check out my Twitch if you want to support me on other platforms. I'll be taking a break from Twitch, obviously, while I'm on vacation, but I'll be back soon. All right, I'm about to run out of memory on here, and my back's about to break from this large load of vegetables. I love you. Stay smiling. Goodbye.